They're trying to intimidate Rodney Hinton because they know that as soon as it becomes an eye for an eye, they lose. They are so vastly outnumbered, it's not even funny. And that man did not let them intimidate him one damn bit. And as a father, I respect him so.
Hey, so I saw the body cam footage of Ryan's unaliving by the police. I watched it 3 times, frame by frame, to make sure I wasn't tripping. And yeah, that officer unjustly unalived him. He didn't have to unalive that boy. He could have popped him in the leg. He could have popped him in the shoulder. He didn't have to unalive him. And he knows it. He knows it. He knows it. I watched it. Even if that young man did have a pew-pew on him, he wasn't facing it towards nobody. He didn't face it towards that officer. I watched it frame by frame, bro. On my phone and on the computer. Make sure I was not tweaking.
Rodney Hinton Jr. may possibly walk after this new information. So everybody is saying that his son stole that car. People, his son did not steal that car. That was not a stolen car. That was actually his car that he missed a payment on. And the dealership located the car by GPS.
Pinch me and fart on my leg, but what you're not going to do is tell me that this wasn't an organized gang that was allowed to do a demonstration in a U.S. courtroom. And you can tell me that the sky is purple or green, but what you're not going to tell me is that this wasn't a move of white supremacy at its best. Then the amount of hate that was ushered in by so-called government officials is a mark of shame on our country. Embarrassing. And I know many are going to say, they were there to support. They were there to support. You can support without giving somebody a death stare. And I'm pretty sure in the back of their mind, they feel like they're doing something righteously. But what they don't realize is those death stares only proves what people of color have been feeling forever coming from you all. And for that reason, we stand with this father. Until you guys really truly get it, stuff like this is going to continue to happen, but we're going to stand with ours.
First of all, free Mr. Rodney Hinton Jr. till it's backwards. Yeah, standing on it. The main argument I keep hearing people use to try to combat this conversation is, oh, that wasn't even the man that unalived his son. He was innocent. He was innocent. He was a retired cop. He was unarmed. He was innocent. He was minding his business. And so, like, do you have any idea of how many people that look like me have been innocent? Any idea of how many people that look like me have been unarmed? Any idea of how many people that look like me that have just been minding their business? Do you? So no, I do not feel bad, and no, I do not have empathy. You want to know why? Because the ratio to black people unaliving white cops versus white cops unaliving black people will never be anywhere near equivalent. Never. Ever. Y'all don't give a damn when it's us, so why should we give a damn that it's you? The roles in reverse, huh? You never thought that was coming. Never thought that was going to happen. Now, what I will say is I'm praying extremely hard for Mr. Rodney and any other spiritual warrior out there. Add him to your prayer list, please. Because being in prison is already a danger in itself. But to be in prison as a cop unaliver, yeah, he is in for a world of danger behind them walls. Watching that video of him walking out that courtroom, it's like they wanted to break him down so bad. So bad. I 100% believe they're going to have to unalive that man to break him down the way they want him broken down, because he's already broken. He has to bury his son. It gets no lower than that. You can't break me no more than that. You get what I'm saying?
So you telling me that he didn't steal a car, he missed a car payment, and the company reported the car stolen. So he's not a thug. He just happened to be a little broke for the moment. Ain't nobody steal no car. Ain't nobody steal no car. Bruh.
Why is everyone focusing on what Rodney did and not focusing on the police officer who pew-pewed his son? We don't even know his name. Why do we know what Rodney did and Rodney's name, but we don't even know the police officer who did what he did to his son? I find that weird. Concerning the crash, why don't we have more footage? Apparently it was during a graduation ceremony. There was lots of foot traffic, lots of people around. And also, if anyone has ever been to college or worked at a college or whatever, like, they know that there's a ton of cameras outside, watching all the time. So, like, why isn't there footage of the car crash that happened, like, since it happened so close to the campus, right? Like, why, if there's high foot traffic, did anyone like get like video? Because it's kind of a big deal. Like,
you can only poke a bear but so many times before that bear wakes up. People are calling what Rodney Hinton Jr. did an eye for an eye. I disagree severely. This was not an eye for an eye. This was an eye for a fingernail. This is not an equivalent of a loss by any means. Sure, Mr. Hinton did what he did in retaliation to what happened to his son, but you don't think that years and years of watching Black lives be taken unfairly, unjustly so at the hands of a cop didn't play a role? You think years and years of watching the victims of police brutality's families do the right thing and let the court settle it, all to be let down, didn't play a role in his choice? You think years and years of watching loved ones unalive from the heartbreak of the loss of their loved ones at the hands of cops did not play a role in why he did what he did? You are sadly mistaken. And to expect Black people especially to feel bad for this one cop, the scoreboard is so unbalanced. You'll have to excuse us if we don't. Like, the fact that Mr. Hinton is one of the first, if not the first, to retaliate in this way says a lot. You think Tamir Rice's parents didn't want to retaliate in the same way? Mike Brown's parents? Trayvon Martin's parents? Sonia Massey's parents and family? Sandra Bland's parents? I could go on. Breonna Taylor's parents and family? George Floyd's parents and family? You think Philando Castile? I unfortunately could go on. You think their parents didn't want to do the same thing?
An insanity defense is crazy. Rodney Hinton, the man who was accused of unaliving a cop because a cop unalived his son, is pleading his defense as insanity, whether that be temporary insanity or whether it is what his defense attorney was trying to hint at, in that Rodney has had mental health issues in the past and the prosecution does not have information on that. Now, I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's a little bit hard to believe that he's going to be able to succeed on an insanity defense, because most people that plead insanity do not succeed on the insanity defense. And just because you plead insanity does not mean that you're not going to be locked away. You would just be locked away in like a mental health facility versus a prison. And another reason why I think that insanity is not going to work in this case is because when you see him in that courtroom, he looks pretty satisfied and pretty accomplished with what he is being accused of. Now, am I saying it's right that Rodney did this? No. But I think a lot of people can understand why he felt the way he did and why he did it. I just don't know if insanity is the best defense to go with, but at least it will give him an opportunity at a trial because there's no denying that he did it.